The Gospel of Matthew 25:31-46 presents a powerful and touching parable, often referred to as the parable of the sheep and the goats, that serves as a stark reminder of our moral responsibility and the ultimate judgment we face. In this parable, Jesus depicts the Son of Man, a representation of Christ himself, exercising his kingship by separating the nations into two groups, the sheep and the goats. The sheep, representing those who inherit the eternal kingdom prepared for them, are commended for their acts of compassion and kindness towards the least fortunate. They fed the hungry, gave drink to the thirsty, welcomed strangers, clothed the naked, visited the sick, and cared for the imprisoned. These acts, Jesus emphasizes, are not merely deeds of charity but rather a reflection of love and recognition of Christ's presence in the most vulnerable members of society. In contrast, the goats, representing those who are condemned to eternal punishment, are rebuked for their neglect and indifference towards those in need. They failed to recognize Christ in the hungry, thirsty, stranger, naked, sick, or imprisoned. Their lack of compassion and disregard for the suffering of others reveal a heart devoid of love and empathy. The parable concludes with a profound statement by Christ, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." This declaration underscores the interconnectedness of humanity and the profound impact our actions have on others, particularly those most marginalized and vulnerable. The Feast of Christ the King, celebrated annually on the last Sunday of the liturgical year, coincides with this powerful parable, reminding us that Christ's kingship is not one of earthly power or dominion but rather of love, compassion, and service. He reigns not through force or coercion but through the transformative power of his teachings and the unwavering love he embodied throughout his earthly ministry. In reflecting on Matthew 25:31-46 and the Feast of Christ the King, we are called to examine our own actions and attitudes towards those in need. Do we recognize Christ in the faces of the marginalized and vulnerable? Do we extend compassion and kindness to those who cross our paths, regardless of their social status or circumstances? As we celebrate Christ the King, let us strive to embody the spirit of his teachings, fostering a world where love, compassion, and service reign supreme. Let us recognize the inherent dignity and worth of every individual, particularly those who are often overlooked or disregarded. In doing so, we not only fulfill our moral responsibility but also honor the true meaning of Christ's kingship.